ArrowRight migration continues. Within days, roughly half of the ethnic Armenian population in the mountainous region of Nagorno-Karabakh fled their homes to nearby Armenia. They have lived in isolation and de facto independence on Azerbaijani territory for decades. But a surprise attack by Azerbaijani forces last week quickly overwhelmed the misfit defenders of the unrecognized Republic of Nagorno-Karabakh, known to Armenians as Artsakh, triggering a new wave. Displacement in a part of the world that has seen generations of ethnic strife and forced population transfers. They were crammed into trucks and cars, their belongings piled on top of each other. Many more are expected to follow. Very few may return. The autocratic government in Baku has promised protect ethnic Armenian rights and expand citizenship to residents. But animosity between both sides runs so deep that few residents of Nagorno-Karabakh attach much importance these assurances. Refugees say they are fleeing ings and violence and fear persecution at hands of victorious Azerbaijani state, which has begun to dismantle autonomous political institutions that existed in region. The buses keep coming. We meet them here and send them to different parts of Armenia, a local priest told my colleague Francesca Ebel in the Armenian town of Goris. Talking about refugees from Nagorno-Karabakh. The people who come often do not understand what is happening to them. At first are stressed. But then they realize we'll never be able to stay in Artsakh. The demise of the ethnic Armenian enclave was felt both suddenly and in slow motion. Western officials were stunned last week by Azerbaijan's blitzkrieg campaign and in previous months had called on Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev to exercise restraint and patience in his demands for the full restoration of his country's territorial integrity. But residents of Nagorno-Karabakh were already under a 9-month blockade after Azerbaijani authorities put up checkpoints on the only road connecting the region to Armenia. Grocery stores were running out of food and hospitals were running low on critical supplies. Rights groups and international observers have warned that Azerbaijan is creating conditions for genocide in region. Baku, which has prevented most international organizations from reaching Nagorno-Karabakh, has rejected such allegations and accused separatist authorities in region of creating crisis. Above all this was Russia's changing role. The brief and lopsided war in 2020 led to Azerbaijan seizing huge swathes territory surrounding Nagorno-Karabakh from ethnic Armenian forces. These forces also seized these lands during deadly conflicts that displaced tens of thousands Azeris in the 1990s. Russian peacekeepers were deployed to keep an uneasy peace. But they failed to prevent Azerbaijan from imposing a blockade on Nagorno-Karabakh and could do little prevent last week's offensive, which effectively stripped the region of its political